Hello. Today my informative speech will be on one of the things that I use that helps keep me safe every day on my job, and that's called a Job Safety Analysis or JSA card. Our JSA cards look like this, and they're a simple blue card and it has some general information on it. But basically the point of these cards or any job safety analysis sheet is to make the writer think about all the possible hazards that they could encounter. To begin, I have to fill out my name and sign it, put down my title. I put down the date that I've arrived at the pad, what time I've arrived, what the name of the pad is, and the specific area that I plan to work in. Sometimes this could be the entire pad, sometimes this could be just specific areas. The next part, the general information category, has in there the type of conditions, whether is it raining, all those different factors. It also asks for the wind direction. Wind direction for most people would not be critical. However, on a job site, especially with potential for hazardous atmospheres, the wind direction is very important to know. That way you're not running into the hazard, you're running away from it. At the bottom, we have the emergency information. This is important stuff as well because we have to look at where the muster points are, where we're going to all meet in the event of an emergency. So if there would be a gas release and they evacuate the site, we need to know where we're supposed to go. Most of the time it's the front entrance of the pad, so we'll head there. Other times it's the rear of the pad, which is the exact opposite. Depends on which way you're closer. They don't want you to run through the hazard in order to get to one or the other. And then, of course, our emergency contact number. Most of the time, this is going to be a 911 call. However, if you're in plant, they may have a specific number they want you to call the control room first so that they can call 911. Next, we'll open up the card. And the inside of the card basically gives you some step-by-step instructions on how to fill out this card. Gives you potential hazards over here for consideration, in case you're not sure what hazards you want to include, and a place to write some general notes if needed. I'm going to flip the card over, and now we're going to start writing down our different job steps. So job step number 1, I always put driving to the site. This is obviously one of the most dangerous because I'm out on the highways and the roads driving to get to where I'm going. The next one is that I have to check in with the company representative. This is a requirement because that way they know that you're actually there. The company would not know, the company representative would not know that you're there, and an event would happen, they wouldn't know to look for you. The next step after that would be, for most of the time, I'm going around and checking our equipment. This is gas detection and monitoring equipment. So I'm going to go out to the actual well sites, well heads, and I'm going to look at our equipment that we have there to monitor gas release. Once that's all completed, I'm going to go back and check in with the company man before I leave, let him know that, hey, everything is good, I've checked everything, and there should be no issues. And then after that, I'm going to drive back to the shop or to the next site. So that's basically my job steps in the course of the day for that site. The next step is to look at what can cause me injury, what can be harmful to me. So it makes me think for each step what things could be a hazard. So in the event of driving a vehicle, motor vehicle crashes and impacts be a very big factor. In the event of walking to the company man's trailer, there's steps, there's uneven ground, so slips, trips, and falls would be the biggest hazard. When I go out and actually start walking around the site, what other hazards am I going to face? Moving equipment and possible atmospheric hazards. So there could be some gas release going on. Maybe it hasn't been detected yet, and I could walk right into that. The next step is, again, back to walking into the company managed trailer, the slip, strips, and falls, and then, of course, driving to the next site. So again, the motor vehicle crashes and impacts. So these are just some of the basic hazards that I know could hurt me while I'm out on my job. Now, the next step is to look at what things can I do to prevent these hazards. So on the next part of the card, how can I mitigate these hazards? So I put down different examples of ways to stop these hazards from becoming reality. One of which in the driving is following the company's established safe driving procedures. That means keeping my speed at the correct amount, wearing my seatbelt, using turn signals, giving plenty of leeway, things to that nature. In the event of walking around the site to the company managed trailer, I always want to be watching my footing, making sure there's no large objects in the way, having a clear path, don't step over things if I don't have to, walk around. In the event of moving equipment while I'm out checking the equipment, avoid your pinch points and your crush points. What that means is don't get in between the piece of moving equipment and an immovable object. Be aware of your surroundings. Basically, that means just looking around all the time and knowing where everything is and which direction it's moving. That way you're not in a path of impact. Again, the last two are repetitive because we're doing the same process. Watching my footing when I'm walking, making sure I have the clear path, and also following the safe driving procedures. So I fill these out on a regular basis every day to every site that I go to. And this is just a good reminder to make me think about the different hazards and ways that I can mitigate the hazards to keep myself safe every day and be able to come home to my family. Thank you.